Hello kids, I'm back again with my new video of class 7 chapter 9, and the story is a shirt in the market. A cotton farmer in Kurnool. Swapna, a small farmer in Kurnool, grows cotton for her small piece of land. The bolls of the cotton plants are ripe and are have some already burst. Of Swapna in busy picking cottons, the ball will carry the cotton in them. Do not burst open at all at once, so it takes several days to harvest the cotton. Once the cotton is collected, instead of selling it at Kurnool Cotton Market, Swapna and her husband takes the harvest to the local traders. At the beginning of the cropping season, Swapna has borrowed 2500 from the traders at a high interest rate to buy seeds, fertilizers, pesticides for cultivation. At this time, the local trader made Swapna agree to other condition. He made her promise to sell her cotton to him. Cultivation for cotton requires high level of inputs such as fertilizer, pesticides, and the farmers have to incur heavy expenses on account of these. Most often, a small farmer need to borrow money to meet these expenses. At the trader yard, two of his men weighted the bag of cotton at a price of 1500 per quintal. The cotton fetch rupees 16,000 rupees 6,000. The trader deduct rupees 3,000 repayment of loan and interest and pay Swapna 3,000. Swapna, rupees 3,000 only? Cotton is selling cheap. This is a lot of cotton in the market. I have toiled so hard for 4 months to grow these cottons. You can see how fine and clean the cotton is this time. I have hoped it to get much better price. Trader, Amma, I am giving you a good price. Other traders are not even paying this much. You can check at Kurnaul market if you do not believe me. Sapna, don't be angry. How can I doubt you? I had only hoped that we would earn enough the cotton crop to the last a few months. Though Sapna knows that the cotton will sell for at least 100 per quintal, she doesn't argue further. The farmer is a powerful man in the village, and the farmer have to depend on him for loans, not only for cultivation but also to meet the exigencies such as illness, children's schools fees, as there are times in the years when there is no work and no income for the farmers. So borrowing money is the only means of survival. Swapna earning for cotton cultivation is barely more than what she might have earned as wages labor. A cloth market of Erode. Erode bi-weekly cloth market in Tamil Nadu is one of the largest cloth market in the world. A large variety of cloth is sold in this market. Cloth this may be weaver in the different around is also bought here for sale. Around the market are officials of clothes merchant who buy these clothes. Other traders for many South Indian towns also come and purchase clothes in this market. On market days, you would also find weavers bringing cloth that has been made on order from the merchant. These merchants supply cloth on order to garment manufacturers and exporters around the country. They purchase the yarn and give instruction to the weaver about the kind of clothes that is to be made. In following example, you cannot see this be done. The merchant distributes some the merchant distribute work among the weavers based on the orders he had received for clothes. The weaver get the yarn from the merchants and supply him for the cloth. The weaver this arrangement seemingly have two advantage. Weaver do not have to spend their money on purchase of yarn. Also, the problem of selling the finished cloth is taken care of. Weaver knows from the outskirts what clothes they should make and how much of it be woven. However, this dependence on merchant both of the raw materials and the market means that merchant have a lot of power. This gave order for what it is to be made, and they pay a lot of low prices for making the cloth. The weaver has no way of knowing who they are making the clothes for, or what price it will be sold. At the cloth market, the merchants sell the cloth of garment factories. In this way, the market worker more in favor of merchant. Weaver invest all their savings or borrow money at a high rate to buy looms. Each loom costs 20,000, so a small weaver with two looms have to invest 40,000. The worker of these looms cannot be done alone. The weaver and another adult member of their family work for 12 hours a day to produce a cloth. For all this work, they earn about 3,500 per month. The arrangement between the merchants and the weaver is an example of putting out system whereby the merchant supplier the raw material and receive the finished products. It is prevalent in weaving industry in most region of the India. The Erode merchant supplies the cotton clothes produced by the weavers to a garment exporting factories near Delhi. The garment exporting factory will use the clothes to make skirts. The skirt will be exported to foreign buyers. Among the foreign buyers and business person from US and Europe who run a chain of store, these large stories of business strictly on their own terms. They demand the lowest price of the supplier. In addition, they set high standard of quality of production and timely delivers. Any defect or delay in the delivery is dealt with strictly. So the exporter tries his best to meet the condition set by their powerful buyers. Faced with such pressures from the buyers, the garments exporting factory in turn try to cut costs. They get the maximum work out of the worker at the lowest possible wages. This way, they can maximize their own profit and also supply the garment to the foreign buyer at cheap rate. The shirt in the United States. A number of shirts are on display at large clothes shop in United States and are priced at $26. That is, each shirt sell at $26, around 1200 rupees. Use the diagram shows to fill. The business person purchases the skirts from the garment exporter in Delhi rupees, some amount of rupees, right? Then he spent on advertising, then he another spent on storage, display. Thus the cost of charge of 600, he sells the shirt at 1200 rupees. So how much profit he's made? He made 600 rupees profit. The garment exporter sold the shirt at 200 price. Garment exporter ने इसको 200 में बेचा. Cloth and the raw material cost him 70 rupees. The worker wager cost another 15 rupees per shirt. The cost of running his office came to 15 per shirt. Can you calculate the profit of the shirt of the garment exporter? How? Who are gainers in the market? सबसे ज़्यादा gainer कौन है market में? A chain of market buyer, the producer of cotton, to the buyer at the market supermarket. Buying and selling takes place at every step in the chain. Let us recall who are the people who are involved in this month process to buy and sell. Did they all gain as much? They were people who made profit in the market, and there were some who did not gain as much for their buying and selling, despite they have toiled very hard, they earn little. Market and equality. The foreign business person made a huge profit in the market. Compared to this, the garment exporters made only moderate profit. The other hand, the earning of the workers at a garment exporter factories are barely enough to cover their day-to-day needs. Similarly, we saw the small cotton farmer and the weaver at a road put in long hours to hard work, but they did not get a fair price in the market for what they produce. The merchant or the traders are somewhere in between. Compared to the weavers, they have earned more, but it's still much less. This not everyone gains equal in the market. Democracy is about also about getting a fair wage in the market. Whether it is Kanta or Swapna, if the family don't earn enough, how would they think of themselves as equal to others? On the other hand, the market offer people opportunity for work and to able to sell things that they grow or produce. It could be farmers selling cottons on the weaver producing clothes. On other hand, it is usually the rich and powerful and get the maximum earning of the market. There are people who had money and owned factories, the large shop, large holding, etc. The poor have to depend on the rich and the powerful for various things. They had to depend on the loans, in case of Sopna, for raw materials and marketing for their goods, and most often for employment. Because of their dependence on the poor and exploited in the market, there are ways to overcome these such forming cooperative of producer and ensuring that laws are followed strictly. In the last chapter, you'll read about how much one fish worker cooperate were started on Tawa River. And that was all about this chapter. I hope you liked it. Thank you.